Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of Rootless podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about the past a year or so that we're living in the countries that we are right now. And I hope you enjoyed this episode and stay with us until then.
Walk once, bruv.
Yo, bruv. What ones? I feel so awkward saying that word. How's
This is
everything going?
this is us. This is us now. Everything is going pretty fine. Sorry guys, I am communicating with Ehsan on that camera, so my eyes will be shifting there. So apologies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same for me.
and
Like, I'm talking through my laptop screen, but my phone is there recording, so I'll be watching here. But
yeah, for you guys, maybe it passed like 1 week listening to the last podcast, but for us, it has been almost a year since we recorded an episode because a lot happened since then.
I think the last time
Even
that,
this,
yeah, the last time we recorded was April. Now
I
it's
believe so.
November.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
a long time.
almost December. Yeah, it's almost my 28th birthday.
Woo! Yay!
Ah, yeah, I'm
You're,
getting old.
yeah. I was about to say that.
I know you would say that, and yeah, a lot has changed, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and some things didn't change, but a lot has changed. And first of all, we're gonna make the episodes shorter because from based on feedbacks of my friends, they said an hour is a bit too long for us.
Want to do
So
30
we're
minutes
gonna
or like 40-ish?
Yeah, close to 40 minutes because there are a lot of stories and yeah, let's make it a goal to make it 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, we're going to basically talk about the last year in I'm living in Germany if you don't know. And if you're joining us right now for the first time, hi, my name is Ali. I'm a musician and
I'm
I
Ehsan.
grew up.
I'm Ali's friend.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry, sorry for the interruption, bro.
yeah.
I thought you're finished. Okay,
It's
go on.
it's all good. We grew up in Kabul, and we started this podcast because there are a lot of information about life in Afghanistan, and we just want to share our stories. We are not politicians. We are not. I myself, I'm not very literate academically. Yeah, as you might understood from that sentence. So if we make any mistakes, if we say something that might seem offensive, please understand that we have no wrong intentions in our hearts. It's just we are who we are, and we try to make ourselves better each day. So tell me something, Ehsan.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something. How was your last year? Has it been a year for you?
A little more than a year. I arrived in Canada on October 5th, and now it's November 25th, 26th, 26th.
Yeah, it's almost okay. Let's say a year.
A year and 2 months,
Uh,
14 months.
yeah, yeah. What has been? Give me a summary of what happened in this year on
Okay.
your personal life.
Long story short, we came here like chasing a better life, but we were getting fucked every day. I mean, sure, like we have more facilities and opportunities, but that means more work and more pressure and more stress. And yeah, alongside with the worries about our family back in Pakistan. So it's just,
Mm.
yeah. Overall, like I don't want to complain a lot, but like it was good. I had some very good days this past summer. We had some good trips and like camping and stuff, and it was nice. But the winter is here again,
Oh
and
shit.
yeah, the days of depression will soon be upon us.
I totally get it. I totally get it. I have another podcast in Farsi about it's all about Afghan musicians and especially Afghan hip hop. So I was talking to an artist who came here like 3 years ago. He came to Sweden, and I was interviewing him, and I asked him, what were you thinking of Sweden before you get into that country, and what do you feel like right now? And he was like, "Oh, bro, I was so mad." And I was like, "Why?" Because he said, "Because when I came here, I walked for a kilometer or something, and I didn't see any money hanging from the trees." Yeah.
Oh,
Because that's how people believe these countries are like,
yeah.
the especially people who were around us, they didn't know that a struggle is real here, you know
Yeah.
and yeah, I've been here for maybe a year and 4 months. Maybe I came here
Mm-hmm.
July last year. So June, July, August, September, October. No, 1 year and 4 months. Okay. And it was so many. It was like a roller coaster. Sometimes I loved it. Sometimes I hated it. And now I got used to it. It's like my feelings toward Germany is just like its weather, wetter. Sorry,
With
but
literally,
weather.
literally.
Yeah. So I asked, I talked to a friend of mine. He said, talk about how being an asylum seeker in these countries, how hard is it? How hard it is, because he knew how hard was it for people.
Hmm.
But I think we also recorded another episode that we decided on not publishing it because it was a long time ago, and I think there was a lot of uh, feelings in it. I Right now I'm trying to not make it so emotional.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I talked based on my feelings that I felt so bad at the time, but in last year and a few months that I was here, as I said, there was a lot of emotions. But we have to understand that German government, they have infrastructure for refugees, like
Hmm.
when you come here, for those who come illegally, it's different because they have to wait like 18 months to maybe 3 years, maybe even more, and there are a lot of hardships that they go through, like staying in camps, not being able to go outside of their own city. Sometimes it's just limited to their state. They call it Bundesland here. And especially there are some new rules that people who are asylum seekers, there is this new rule for immigrants that they will not get paid cash as
Mm.
social benefits, and they will get like cards that they can use in certain places, which is very,
Good.
I mean, it is good for German government, you know, but at the same time, it's limiting for the immigrants. I mean,
Which is good because like
it.
the discussions that I've had with people, like I don't know about other nationalities, but Afghans living in Germany, they're not putting any effort into growing because like the
Okay.
government, the social money is providing for them what they need.
Here's the thing. Here's my problem with it. I understand that how it is a good thing, but I also understand that how it could affect negatively some people, how it affect some people negatively. Sorry,
Like
I'm
how?
trying to make my for example, let's say you have to study here,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You're studying, and you're doing an apprenticeship, which they call it Ausbildung here,
Hmm.
and you have to get paid by the job center or social offices, whatever.
Okay.
And in this, And in these 3 years, your family is back in Afghanistan or
Oh yeah.
uh, Pakistan. So with 100 euros or dollars, they could basically, it could help them a lot, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
you just, instead of spending 400 per month, you spend 300 and you send 100 back in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I
I
understand
know
in that
it,
case. Yeah.
yeah. And I just feel sympathy for those who have families back in Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, or something like that, some countries like that. But at the same time, I understand that because, as you said, there are families here who get paid for their families by the social offices or job center or whatever, and they just pocket the money themselves. I've seen so many people here that they come, their mindset is like, we get, they call it kindergeld, which means cash for kids.
Like
It's a
something
rule
like
in
child benefit
a
here in
child
Canada.
benefit. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, so that's only for kids. They pay like 300 euros just for the kids. It doesn't matter if they're your kids or not. You know, when I mean, I should not say that because I have not enough information. But at least I know they pay like 300.
Okay.
Okay, and I've seen so many families like here, they say, okay, I don't care, I have 3 kids, I get 900 for them.
Hmm.
You know, it's and they just pocket the money, and that's, in this case, I think this also helps that.
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
as you know, I
Bro,
have, yo,
yeah, you're saying, because
yeah,
I
you
just
wanted,
wanted to like move to another topic because like it's getting a bit long.
yeah, no, it's just some info, just our 2 cents on the matter, you know.
Mm, yeah, I understand.
Talking
So
about,
another question that I had in mind was like comparing Afghanistan with Germany. Like, how do you find the nature? That's something that, like, Afghans all the time they're like, oh, like we have the best nature, like, and stuff, the best weather, but like, how do you compare German nature and like, you know?
I believe Afghanistan is a beautiful place, you know, but all of them is being gate kept, something like that. You
What do
know,
you
for
mean?
example, I mean, I didn't feel safe to travel to Bamiyan.
Yeah. I mean, like if there was security, would you choose Afghanistan or Germany for the nature?
I mean, both of them are beautiful because Germany is a beautiful place.
Mm.
You know, I I cannot choose, but the only reason is that I've explored Europe more than Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
In Afghanistan, I've been only in major cities like Mazar Sharif, sorry, Herat, and Kabul.
Where's
Just
sorry
this,
Herat?
huh?
Where's sorry Herat?
Here is what?
Nothing. You're like I've been to Mazar Sharif.
Sorry,
Sorry
sorry,
Herat.
Herat. Yeah, but in here I've been in so many places. There are a lot of art in here, you know. Of course, Afghanistan is a multicultural country. There are so many ethnicities living in Afghanistan that maybe just in a small country there are more cultures and more different ethnicities and more different
Like
languages
traditions,
spoken
yeah.
there, yeah, than probably more than Europe. so many, so many different.
Yeah.
It's a multicultural country, but I believe both of them are beautiful. I cannot say that, but I imagine you would say Afghanistan is more beautiful than Canada.
No.
Come on.
No.
You
I,
like Canada more than Afghanistan?
no, but they both have their own like beauty.
Yeah. How are you integrating into the society as an Afghan in Canada?
What do you mean by integrating? I'm not
Like, do
familiar
you
with that
feel
word.
like you're integrated in the society? Like you feel like you belong there, or no?
Mm, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like Canada is very multicultural, as you said, and multinational and everything, like very diverse. There's someone from every country in the world, from every like ethnical group, religious group, and everything. So you don't feel like you're alone. Like you don't feel. So we were like in a training, we were talking about the culture of power, and how like when there's a lot of people with the same religious uh, belief or like nationality or race, they become the power. Like I barely feel that in Canada. Like even in my city, which is a very small city with lots of like white and indigenous people, but still like there are all lots of immigrants, like Indians, Africans. By Africans, like there's lots of countries. I like Nigerians, Jamaican, and everything, and also like Middle Eastern, Arabs, Persians. So it's very diverse and
Stop naming.
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like you don't feel left out is what I
It is
wanted
very
to say.
international. That's what
Ye-
you wanted to say.
Yeah. So like I don't feel like I don't belong here. I do. But still like I was talking to a friend. She's Ukrainian and she just got her citizenship last like this year. She was like, no matter what, like in my passport, when they gave them passport to me, they're like, congratulations, like you're a Canadian right now. And I was like feeling so weird. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I'm still a Ukrainian.
Yeah, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But I say I get it, but at the same time, I am a person who doesn't understand that because my mom is Iranian and my dad is Afghan, but I don't feel like I am either or, you know?
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you understand where I come from when
You're
I say this.
Afrani.
Yeah, but that's how I feel because I think I've said it in the first episode that when I was back in Iran, I was insulted for being an Afghan, half Afghan, and when I came to Afghanistan, I was excluded from my friends, family friends, because I was different than them because I looked more Iranian than Hazara or a reminder Hazara is an ethnicity in Afghanistan which me and Ehsan are from. Yeah, and when I came here, that was my problem. When I came here, I felt like okay, we grew up on Hollywood, right? We
Mm.
know not let's say not Hollywood on Friends.
Right.
Oh shit! I reminded myself that Matthew Perry is
Oh,
gone. That
yeah.
that that made me so sad. Rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Rest in peace.
I yeah we are probably one of few people who really appreciated him.
Oh, lots of people appreciate.
Afghans.
Oh, Afghans, yeah, yeah. I mean, like
Yeah,
most Afghans, I don't think they would have watched Friends, but
yeah,
those that they have, they will for sure love
yeah.
Matthew.
Exactly. So we grew up on those type of TV shows and European, let's say Western culture,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because of the whole media and stuff like that.
yeah.
And before coming here, I was like, when I get there, I will feel more like home because I have never felt Afghanistan was never my real home. Iran was never my real home. I grew accustomed to Afghanistan more than Iran, obviously, but still, I never felt like home. I never thought maybe one day I will buy a house here and start a family here. I never thought of that back in Afghanistan. But when I came here, I always before coming here, I thought maybe yeah, when I get there, I will find friends. I will connect with people easier because I am more like them. And when we talked to our mutual friend back in Afghanistan, she used to always tell me like, "You and Ehsan were born in wrong countries," you know, because of our mindsets. But the problem was not me when I came here. The problem was the way I looked. You know, when I came here, I don't know what people who looked like me have done here before. So it created an image in natives here. I mean Germans, you know. So plus the media always have an agenda and always trying to paint the picture on paint a paint their agenda on the media. What I'm saying, I don't know, but you know what I mean. You know, they always twist the
Yeah, yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and they always try to. Sometimes, if even it's true, you know, it gets so stretched out that even they know that okay, this is getting out of hand. But it created. They have this prejudice. Some of them they have this prejudice in their head, in their hearts, and it doesn't feel good, if you know what I mean. For example,
Mm.
I've been here for uh, 4 months, and everybody wanted me to be able to speak German. And whenever I told them that I've been here only 4 months, they would be surprised, but they would also say that, sorry, there has been people with 70 who stayed here for 7 years and still refuse to talk our language. But as I said, I wasn't being judged on my personal statements. I was being judged on based on how I looked,
Mm.
and it created so many bad feelings in me. But there has been so many nice people also in Germany. I should say that. But I don't feel like you had the same problem like that in there because first of all, you speak English,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
And there are a
not
lot
as
of
much.
internationals there.
Yeah. Uh,
Hmm?
no, not as much. Like sometimes with like white Canadians, I feel a little like tiny micro, what do you call it? Micro aggression. Um,
Okay. Passive aggressive.
no, like when they insult you based on your like stereotypes, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not their intention, but they do it unconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
Because like some, well, the most of the times it's like when I talk to them and they're like, oh, your English is so good. I'm like, thank you. I've been studying English my whole life. And then like they're like, where are you from? I'm like, Afghanistan. And they're like, oh, Taliban, or like maybe like you don't look like Afghans. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? But I'm like,
What?
but it's like, yeah, they I feel like they don't mean it as much. I mean, obviously there are people that have bad intentions to like show that they're,
Mhm.
what do you call it, like they're privileged, like they're the chosen one and stuff. But
Mm.
overall it's been a good experience settling in. And also like with the indigenous people, like when I first came, there were all of these stereotypes about indigenous people, that about some, like every nationality, every group of people have their bad and like black and white, you know, like they have their bad people
Mhm.
and they have their good people. But what the stereotypes was like, the indigenous people, they're all like addicted, they're all like thieves, and like they're dangerous and everything. But I've had the most amazing conversations like with the indigenous people. Like they're so
What do you
welcoming.
mean by indigenous people? I don't understand that.
Indigenous people are the people that used to live here before the settlers,
Natives.
your natives, yeah.
Okay.
Indigenous people are the First Nation, like the
It,
native people of Canada before the European settlers came.
Okay. So that's the politically correct version of saying natives.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Here
Sorry.
in Canada, they don't want to refer them as natives, or like
Exactly.
in US they refer to them as Indians, but here like those are
Okay.
wrong. Yeah, like you either call them indigenous or First Nation, but they prefer indigenous more.
Okay. Every day you learn something new.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, like they're very kind and welcoming, and like we have a word in Persian which is kaka. I don't know what would be the
Uh, I don't know either. Let's say coca.
yeah.
Let's say
You need to
coca.
go find what kaka means. Ask your
Mm,
Persian
okay.
friend or your Afghan friend. I don't know if we would have. Do we have that in
Mm,
Iran? Kaka.
there is, but I don't know it.
I know there is koko, but that's different.
That's like
Kaku.
uncle, something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. I just wanted to say this
Oh,
because what?
one thing, I was talking to a friend that is in Australia right now, Iltaf, and
Okay. Okay.
I was just asking him because I think he's been there for a couple months now, and like I asked him about the experiences that he had moving to Australia, and I will tell you what he said, but first I want to hear from you. Like when you get off the plane, like what did they tell you?
Nothing.
Nothing? Like they didn't welcome you or anything?
No, it was just stay in a line and get fingerprinted and they ask like where do you want to go, which city and stuff like that. And when we were in a camp to be sorted like Gryffindor, Slytherin,
Mm.
like instead of Gryffindor and Slytherin, it was like Hamburg, Frankfurt, something like
Uh,
that. And before that, to clear things up, it was not like that. Even before us leaving Afghanistan, our places were like basically chosen. I'm just kidding, but it was
mm.
like that. From one place, from one camp, we would all go our ways.
Yeah.
But the thing that I saw there is people who were in charge of us, like taking care of us because we were new there.
Mm.
They were really unprofessional. I don't know if it's because they were not trained enough or not, but we have faced. It was not the greatest week of my life, because there was this Afghan guy who came and we would ask them about something like, hey, where can I find water? Something like that, and they would say, they would respond in a bad manner and would say, like, you guys are so ungrateful. I was like, why?
Oh,
There
shit.
are people who has spent like 10,000 euros, 20,000 euros and come here, and you guys German government bring you here and you're like this. And I was
Asking
like,
for water.
I was just asking for water,
Ah, that's
you
bad.
know?
So, okay, that tells a lot about the immigration in like European or German country, German country,
Yeah.
Germany.
European.
Yeah, but like what when I came and we landed and we got off the plane, there were people from the like I think volunteers and settlement agencies just standing there, and they were all like have a Canada flag and like welcome to Canada, and then they give us like
Mm.
juice or like desserts, bakeries
Uh,
and stuff, and
uh,
yeah, which was a good
yeah,
experience.
sorry to interrupt you, but there was that, but
Hmm.
it was not like a flag or welcome or something like that. It was just a few volunteers standing there and giving water and juice and stuff like that. It was
Yeah,
it.
but like for us it was like they were all like we were feeling like they're really happy to see us. It was a good
Uh,
experience. And then like and most of these volunteers were Afghans living in Calgary. I don't know if they were volunteers or
okay.
they were paid, but yeah, they were Afghans, and they helped us settle, and then they took us to the hotel, assigned our room and stuff. But my friend Altaf, he said that when he landed in Australia, they were all like, "Welcome home." Like that
Holy
was
shit.
so. I was like, "Holy shit!" I thought Canada has the best like immigration policies and like process and everything, welcoming immigrants.
Mm,
But yeah, that was really
mm.
sweet.
That a small thing goes a long way,
Yeah, yeah. Like
you
when
know?
you are welcomed in a country like that, you feel like that. You feel that you're at home, and you will serve for that country. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
In on paper, everything is great, you know.
Mm,
On paper, the when you come here, you're being helped, your rights are on on place. You get paid by the government to study language, to get integration courses. If you wanted to do apprenticeship or even study whatever you want, you can do that, you know. And
mm,
yeah, that is great. But in future, it's like an investment. In future, if I do apprenticeship, I would pay taxes. Like I worked in a warehouse based on the contract. I'm not allowed to say what company, but I worked in a warehouse for almost 5 months. I got fired a few weeks ago, but I paid a lot of, not a lot of, both a lot of taxes and social contributions,
mm-hmm.
you know. So
Yeah.
on paper, everything is like great,
I
right?
think you need to tell why you were fired.
I
Edit,
was,
put
uh,
a question to the people's mind.
I wasn't fired because of like, uh,
Because he was a
I had,
bad employee.
yeah. No,
He
I
was
had an
so
accident.
slow.
No, actually, my manager told me a few times that I am one of the few hardworking people, because you know I told this story so many times that I've been working since I was 4 years old. You know, I used to go to shoemaking shop with my dad. You know, but the problem was, even my coworkers. There was this guy. He is a cool person. He told me it's always you Middle Easterns, because I was one station behind him and I used to work faster, so his workload would be a lot.
Mm.
He was like, "Oh, it's always you Middle Easterns," you know.
And didn't you tell him
He,
like sorry, I'm not Middle Eastern?
I told him, did you know that Afghanistan is not in the Middle East? It was like, I don't care if you look like an Arab.
but but you're half Iranian, which makes you half Middle
uh,
Eastern.
yeah, yeah, but I had a work accident on my way back from work. I had a crash with my scooter because I was tired and there was some. Not
Yeah.
to get too much on the story, I had to rest for 2 weeks, so that that caused my firing.
Which I don't know, but like this is very strict policy for not being able to work because you've been into an accident. That's crazy. Like I broke my knee, my like I sprained my ankle while playing soccer, which was out of work. But then like I had to take 1 month off. Nothing happened. Like after 1 month, I went back to work.
Mm. I mean, who cares about warehouse employees? You know, there are thousands of people who would replace me. And I feel like the reason I got fired was more because of its future, because it was not the long term contract, it was just a temporary contract. So maybe it was because of insurances for the future, because in future, if I asked them like, oh, my shoulder hurts, they had to give me a few days off because it was a work accident, you know.
Mm.
It was not like on my own time.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I don't care. It's not about that, because that, for me, that was a temporary job because I needed to get an apartment for myself. Say goodbye to that dream, you know.
No,
But uh, let's.
you'll be fine,
I'm
bro.
trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out my life right now, you know. But the thing that I wanted to say, it was just that on paper everything looks great. You know, when you come here, you get social benefits. You get if you're a family, you're more welcome with open arms than a single person like me. For example, I'm in a three bedroom social apartment with five other guys. Don't look at your watch that much, you asshole.
Sorry, got distracted. What did you
Yeah.
say?
Uh,
The last sentence.
I was saying, like, right now I'm in a three-bedroom social housing
Mm.
with six residents,
Yeah, yeah.
and the capacity of this place is 9 people. It means that in this small room, which is, I believe, like 18 square meters, there would be 3 people at maximum living. And the building, there are two big buildings in front of us, and we are the people who got accepted as asylum seekers, you know. But those guys, they are like those who come to this country newly, and they would be there, and their life situation is way harder than us. But on the paper, it's not like a bad situation, you know. You have a roof on top of your head, you have uh, enough money to buy food and stuff. But if it is worth living, that's another situation. I worked for 4 months. It was 4 months that I was working, and because when you apply for a house, you need to have like 3 months of your pay slips
Mm-hmm.
to prove that you work.
Yeah.
So I got my 4 months of pay slips with me, and I applied for a few houses. And when you apply for a house, you complete a form and you say like, okay, Mr. Ali ATH, you know, and you fill other stuff. I talked to this person, and he said, okay, your shufa, which is a credit score, type of credit score in here, your shufa is good, your income is good. A few other questions. We talked for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, he asked me, may I ask, where are you from? And I said, yeah, sure, I'm from Afghanistan. Suddenly, like that, he said, sorry, we are looking for women.
That's bad.
You know, as I said, on paper, everything looks good. But day to day life, I've noticed so many times that even cashiers on the supermarkets, some of them are very lovely people, but some of them, they are like, I see that when they see people like me with beard and stuff like that, and I know right now because I have not shaved for a few days, it doesn't help my case in this situation. But I promise you, even if when I'm fresh, you know, it happened to me at the same time. It was like, I've seen so many times that even when I try to be friendly, I was not being friendly too,
Mm.
you know. And that breaks your heart sometimes, you know. It's like it
Yeah,
it
man.
it kind of makes me an asshole. It kind of makes me want to be an asshole. Like, if nobody is being nice to me, why should I be nice to others, you know? I know maybe I've seen a lot of foreigners who are being assholes here. I'm not gonna sit here and say, nah, we are all nice people. No. But it's the concept of Beyond Good and Evil by Friedrich Nietzsche. Like, should you execute someone based on what you know he's gonna do, based on your prejudice, or no? If they did something, then you judge them.
Yeah.
I know I butchered that book, but the main concept was like that. So that's the real life. But I would like to talk about this more. I know it will not be it cannot be summarized in one episode, and we optimized for 40 minutes.
Now we're
But
on our 51st minute.
I mean, we're gonna cut a lot of it, yeah.
You think
But
so?
yeah, I wanted to hear more about you, about the last year. But I think there are a lot of micro stories that we could talk about, right?
Yeah, I mean, like the overall, it has been good, and like the experiences that I had, I shared. But
Do you feel homesick?
not really, not now. I mean, like I used to miss home. It's like homesickness. It's something that comes and goes. Like you feel homesick for a couple of days and then it goes away. But I miss my family more. Like home for me is where my family is, right? Like for many people, it's them.
Wow.
Like home is where your family is, where your friends are. So yeah, I don't miss. Actually, now that you told, you asked me, I do. I miss
I,
Bologna.
I miss my breakfast at Afro,
I miss the
my
Bolani
pancakes.
restaurant. There was a restaurant
Yeah.
in Kabul, Kartechar. It was called Bolani, which is the name of a street food. But like, it was
Is it a street
so
food
good.
or very traditional food?
It's a traditional street food, Afghan.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, like usually people eat it on the streets, right? Like you can find it on the streets. So
Yeah.
it's basically technically a street food.
I listened to a podcast by Colin and Samir. They give a lot of tips on being a creator on social media. And whenever they reach the final points of their podcast, they talk, we are at the deep end. And right now we are at the deep end and talking about those things. And let me let
Let
me
me tell
say
you
my
something.
let me tell you something very important to me. I don't get it.
You
I
don't get
don't get
what?
pizza. I don't get pizza. I don't get bologna. Those foods that they have a lot of bread in them, flour. Like
What do you mean? Like you don't
I,
like them?
I don't like pizza. I don't. I'm not very. I like to have a slice of pizza every year and then. Like
What do you
that's it.
like? Like, what do you
I
mean?
like Asian. I like Asian food. I like. Uh, I don't know. I like chicken.
Okay. Have you learned how to use chopsticks?
I try.
You tr-
Yeah, that's the thing.
the
I don't
fir-
get it.
last week, for the first time, I used. I mean, I didn't use chopsticks, but for the first time, I finished my
Food.
my food with chopsticks. Like, and I didn't spill one piece of food.
We are in the deep end. We are becoming more internationals. Yeah, please let us know what we should. I mean, we have a lot
I
of
think we should,
stories to
yeah,
tell you.
end it here.
Yeah, we have a lot of stories to share, but we don't know how to prioritize them. So, based on your comments, we can make decisions to what to talk about. Yeah, these were the things that I wanted to share this week because I was just watching TikTok and I saw the new rules in here and I was like, holy shit, we should talk about them.
Yeah,
And the yeah, and also I expected more from you.
you expected more from me. I mean, I can
Yeah,
share more if you want. If you,
I mean, I don't I want it and I believe audience want it.
well, maybe in
And
the next
yeah,
episodes. It's just like
uh,
me personally. I don't talk much, so in the fact that I'm doing this podcast and I talk this much, it's a lot for me. I will grow more and more, and I'll
I
try to
mean,
speak more every episode. But I think for now it's good.
whose idea was it? The podcast.
I don't know.
I think we came up together.
Most of the ideas, like the things that we do together, the ideas come when we are talking about something, and it just like sparks.
Yeah, yeah, okay. One more thing. Those who listen to this, if you know anyone who would be a great guest for us, please either tag them or send this podcast to them, and let us know who should we bring on the podcast. We would like to talk with other people as well, because the more the merrier, something like that.
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
Ah, ah, yeah, something like that. Okay, I don't have anything to else to say. Anything to else to say. We reached our bottleneck in English. I reached, not you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you liked it, please give us a like on the video or on. Can people give like on Spotify? Like they can.
Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. I demand it.
Yeah, and please leave comments, suggestions, objections, anything you have. We'll be happy to hear it, and it will for sure help us to improve our podcast. And that's it. Until next
Till the
episode.
next episode.